You ever been given a job so impossible that it feels like a cruel joke? That's what happened to me. I was told to build a luxury villa. Not a cabin, not a shack, but a sprawling villa in just 2 months. I should have walked away, but I didn't. And what happened during those 2 months nearly destroyed me, but it also changed my life forever. It started in my boss's office. Rain was pounding against the windows, like the universe was warning me. "Sit down," he said, sliding a folder across the desk. Inside, blueprints, sketches, material lists. My jaw dropped. This is a year-long project," I said. He smirked. "You have 2 months. The client insists." I laughed nervously. "That's insane. Why not tell them no?" His smile disappeared. "Because this client isn't just anybody. If we fail, we're finished. And maybe not just professionally." The way he said it made my skin crawl. But I had no choice. I nodded. "All right, I'll find a way." That night I couldn't sleep. My wife noticed. "You're worried," she said. I kissed her forehead and lied. "It'll be fine." But deep down, I knew it wouldn't be fine. The next morning, I met my crew. 12 men. Some veterans, some rookies. I told them the deadline. They laughed. One guy said, "We'll need a miracle." But miracles weren't coming. What we needed was blood, sweat, and sleepless nights. We worked 14 to 16 hours a day. Coffee and energy drinks replaced meals. We laid foundations under spotlights, our shadows long against the mud. Neighbors cursed at us for the noise. Inspectors threatened fines. But every day, we pressed forward. By the end of week 1, the skeleton of the villa was visible. That's when the first disaster struck. We were waiting on Italian marble, essential for the flooring and bathrooms. It was delayed. The client's order was no substitutions. Every day I called suppliers, begged for updates, cursed at shipping companies. Nothing. So I improvised. Bought local stone, cut it to size, stored it on site. My plan: if the marble arrived last minute, we'd swap. If it didn't, we'd fake it. But improvisation has limits. The crew started whispering, "We'll never make it." Doubt crept in. Then came sabotage. One morning, scaffolding collapsed. Luckily, no one was on it. At first, we blamed rust, but when we found bolts deliberately loosened, we realized this wasn't an accident. That night, I stayed late. At around 2 a.m., I spotted a figure sneaking by the tool shed. I yelled, and he bolted. On his jacket, I saw a rival company's logo. They wanted us to fail. From then on, we worked in shifts, some building, some standing guard. I barely slept. My wife begged me to come home. My kids left drawings on the kitchen table, little stick figures of me with "We miss you." I cried in my car, wiped my face, and went back to the site. By week 4, walls stood tall, the villa finally taking shape. That's when the storm came. I've seen storms before, but this one felt biblical. Rain hammered down, winds ripped off tarps. I watched helplessly as part of the roof we just finished collapsed, smashing scaffolding and soaking the interiors. One worker muttered, "It's over." Another dropped his tools and walked off, never to return. I stood in the mud, water pooling around my boots, thinking, maybe he's right. Maybe it's impossible. But then I thought of my kids, of my wife, of the contract hanging over us. I clenched my fists. We finish this. No matter what. I called every contact I had. Old friends, former rivals, anyone with skills. Within days, our crew doubled. We ran shifts around the clock, rotating teams like a military operation. We slept in trailers, ate from food trucks, showered in makeshift stalls. I stopped being a husband and father and became a commander. By week 6, we were back on track. The marble finally arrived, weeks late, but just in time. We carried the slabs by hand, cursing their weight, installing them under lantern light. But the exhaustion was brutal. I saw men nodding off while holding drills. One guy fainted from dehydration. I had to send him home. The rest kept going. 2 weeks left. Tensions exploded. One night, 2 workers got into a fist fight over a power saw. Another nearly quit after slicing his hand. And me? My body was breaking. My back ached so bad I could barely bend. My hands bled through my gloves. I remember staring at the half-finished villa one night, whispering, "Why am I doing this?" But then I saw my crew, dirty, tired, hungry, but still there, still fighting. And I realized I couldn't give up. Not for them, not for me. 2 days before the deadline, the villa stood tall. The paint was still drying, landscaping half done, but it looked beautiful. The client arrived in a black car. Tall, sharp suit, eyes cold as steel. He walked through each room in silence. I thought my heart would burst out of my chest. Finally, he turned to me. "This is acceptable," he said. I almost collapsed with relief. But then he added, "You did well. Too well." This wasn't about the villa. This was a test. To see if you're the kind of man I can trust with something bigger. Bigger? He smiled. "How do you feel about building an entire resort?" When I drove home that night, I passed out in my driveway before even getting inside. My wife carried me in, kids hugging me while I slept. Looking back, I don't know how we survived those 2 months. But we did, and I learned something. Impossible is just a word. With enough sacrifice, grit, and pain, you can bend reality itself. But every miracle has a cost, and mine was nearly everything.